Welcome to Keep Heading East. I'm Murray from the YSE Cookery School, and if you're joining us again, then welcome back. And if you're joining this series for the first time, you've joined us back in the Netherlands, the 31st stop on our whistle-stop tour of global feasting. You can check out the main introduction to this series by clicking the on-screen link in the cards, or follow the link in the description below to our free PDF cookbook with all the dishes that we'll be cooking in this series. Or if you prefer a printed version, then there's one available as well. Now, it's been said that the French eat to enjoy good food and good company, but the Dutch eat to stop feeling hungry. So traditionally, Dutch cuisine is pretty simple and straightforward, with lots of vegetables and meat. Breakfast and lunch are typically bread, cheese and meats, while dinner's often meat and potatoes and vegetables. One of the most common Dutch meals, and one of my favourites actually, would have to be Stamppot. It's made of mashed potato mixed with one or more vegetables like kale or carrots or endive or sauerkraut. Stamppot is traditionally served during the winter months and is best served with rookworst, or like a fine smoked Dutch sausage. There are several restaurants have it on their menus, and there's even a small company in Amsterdam called Stamppot, a small restaurant chain that serves fresh made Stamppot during the winter months and then turns into an ice cream shop in the summer. Now, the country's cuisine is shaped by its location in the fertile North Sea river delta on the European plain, giving great access to fishing and farming and trading over the sea, its former colonial empire and the spice trade. Now, during the 20th century, Dutch cuisine became influenced by its colonies, particularly the Dutch East Indies, and it became more cosmopolitan, and these days most international cuisines are represented well in the major cities. Indonesian dishes became very popular due to the arrival of former Dutch colonials and people from Eurasia descent into the Netherlands, especially after the independence of Indonesia from Dutch colonial rule in 1949. Dishes like nasi goreng, which is fried rice, pisang goreng, which is fried bananas, fried spring rolls, fried noodles, satay, skewered meats, and sambal oelek, or chili paste, and things like that. Now, Surinamese cuisine is also quite popular in the Netherlands, especially in the bigger cities. Surinamese establishments commonly offer roti, which is a staple of the Hindustani community in Suriname. Now, the Dutch have been making cheese since 800 BC. Now, the Netherlands is the largest cheese exporter in the world, with an average of 21 kilograms per year per person. The majority of Dutch cheeses are semi-hard or hard cheeses. Gouda and Edam are the most popular cheeses from the Netherlands, but there are many other types of Dutch cheese. If you ever visit Amsterdam, you should try Old Amsterdam cheese, or go to Reepner's tasting room and check it out for yourself. I've linked to a quick clip from a family farm in Gouda, where they're still making aged cheese in the traditional way, if you'd like to see how it's done. Now, the Dutch also love licorice, or drop as it's known. With more than 2 kgs per person per year, the Dutch consumption of licorice is also the highest in the world. You'll come across it everywhere. The supermarket, the pharmacy, the market and gas stations. Drop comes in different flavours and sizes, but basically there's 2 major differences. It's either salty licorice or sweet licorice. Now, for me, when I think about Dutch food, I think about the snack food and Bitterballen, which is our entry into the Keep Heading East cookbook this week. It's like a meat croquette with a really crunchy coating, and it's usually served with mustard. Now, Bitterballen can be found all over the Netherlands, but there's a huge array of street food that Holland's famous for. And I'll leave a link at the end screen in a moment to a short clip that'll give you a really great impression about street food and Amsterdam in general. So that's it for this stop on our Keep Heading East tour of global cuisine. I hope you've enjoyed it. Links are on screen now for the videos I mentioned earlier if you'd like to see a little more from the region. And remember, for our subscribers, there's a fantastic cookbook to accompany this series. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe and grab yourself a free PDF copy of our cookbook, or if you prefer a hard copy, the links are there as well. Thanks for watching. See you soon.